Boys.
Tell me your first drama was not Boys Over Flowers.
Cut it.
Did you cut?
No. I'm just
Oh.
saying I'm going to cut it at this point.
Okay, just keep moving, keep moving. Hello and welcome to another episode of the LeastMost podcast. I'm your host, Tommy,
And I'm your girl, Simi.
and today we're going to be talking about love featuring marriage and divorce, part 2. If you haven't listened to our other episode, please go back because we're going to be talking about a drama. And obviously, I've just said it's part 2. So if you haven't listened to our part 1, I do recommend you go back and listen to that because honestly, there was so much tea in that episode. I think it would be a shame for you
Mm-hmm.
listeners to miss it. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing a part 2 on that because this drama was just so lit. We had split into two. But yeah, so Simi's just going to go ahead and read the synopsis for us.
Yes. So, guys, like Tommy said, pause and go back. Okay, that was your chance to pause, by the way. So, I'm gonna start reading the plot. Three vibrant and successful women who work on a radio show have something in common: a happy marriage. Bubbly host Bo Haerong is in her 30s and has been married to a handsome lawyer, Pa Sa-yoon, for 3 years. This busy couple remains child-free by choice. Sa-yoon was first taken with her after seeing her play the drums. Sapi Young is a hard-working producer for the show. In her 40s, she has always done her best to take care of her home, daughter, and her charming husband, Shin Yu Shin, psychiatrist and hospital director of the neuropsychiatry department. By any measure, P. Young is the ideal wife. Ideal wife. The show dedicates writer Lee Si Yoon, now in her 50s. So stop.
Sorry.
Now in her 50s, has been married for 30 years to her sweet professor husband, and they share two preteens. Park Hae-ryun is now the dean of the theater and film department at Jin University. Lee Si-yoon made many sacrifices in order to support her husband's dream of becoming a film professor early in their marriage. So-ban, the show's sound technician, is a man of few words who keeps a tight lid on his private life. He is a man of mystery to his curious colleagues. Three equally successful women will prove to be the unraveling of each of their so called happy marriages. Yes.
Sorry, do you mind rereading that last sentence for me again?
Three equally successful women will prove to be the unraveling of each of their so called happy marriages. I'm just reading the plot, lads. I
Okay,
don't
because
think that
I
part
don't
is
know if
right.
I'm really enjoying. Yeah, I don't think I really agree with the that last line because
Yeah.
sounds like a guy. It sounds like a man wrote that. Just saying. It sounds like a man wrote that synopsis. No, because it sounds a bit off. It doesn't go with the storyline. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not the women that are the undoing of their marriages. It's the men. But
to to be
gosh,
honest, there's still more, but I just thought it's a bit. This is not this. I don't know. It's like they've changed the plot from what I read last week because I'm reading it from the same
yeah,
source, so they must have
yeah,
rewritten it again. Um,
probably.
so it's better written. I wouldn't lie, but at the same time, that those two lines when I read it, I was like, I shouldn't have read it to be fair. But yeah. Anyway, we meet their mistresses. Should I read about what they said about the mistresses so that the listeners know?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first mistress. Sungwon is divorced, a skilled literary translator of Chinese and lawyer Sayun's mature gym partner. Ami is single in her 20s and has spent the last 2 years shuttling between South Korea and the US in order to complete her studies. A shared aeroplane seat and her love of horse brings her and the doctor together, the psychiatrist, by the way. Add into the mix Yushin's unusual relationship with his father's new wife, a classy, well-kept woman who raised him from childhood, his stepmother. Dean Hae-ryun hires the beloved actress Nam Ga-bin, whose career he has followed, to teach at the university, bringing the two in welcomed routine contact. Mistresses aside, each couple has an Achilles heel that brings about much unhappiness, could trigger divorce proceedings, and leave them all wondering just how much happiness are we entitled to in life. So this person has they've put their name, but I'm not gonna say it because I don't want people going to troll them because they wrote the plot.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they're the one
Fair
that
enough.
they must have watched the drama because
Okay.
yeah. So
I mean, before we even start, because I know we promised the listeners that this week we're going to be only speaking on Pyong's family, and we're going to be talking about them, and then we're also going to be talking about
mm,
the what's it called? I keep thinking he's saying native doctor. He's not native doctor.
Oriental doctor.
Oriental. Yeah, the Oriental doctor. That's the main storyline that we're going to be talking about today. But I just want to touch on the other stuff because I know, like, I don't know if I properly listen. Like, I listened to it, but I didn't. Guys, I don't always listen back to our episodes because sometimes I find it cringe, but then sometimes I'm like, we lit. But yeah, so last week's episode just wasn't. I didn't fully listen to it. I think also because I didn't edit it. It was Simi that edited it. So disclaimer. But I'm not sure if I mentioned the fact that um I don't know how I feel about the women because I also feel like we spoke a lot about, the drummer girl, the young one,
The young
that
one in her
she's
30s.
very like, yeah, that although her husband is wrong in whatever he did, I still feel like she also had a part to play in
Mm,
how her marriage fell apart or
mm,
is falling apart, because I do feel like she was a bit mean to him in a lot of ways,
mm.
and she wasn't willing to kind of bend or understand his point
Compromise.
of view.
Mm,
Yeah, I think that's the issue that I think I have with her. Like, she is one that lacks a bit of like that, that part of her that empathizes with people and is like, you know what, I feel for you. Because even when
mm,
she spoke to Seyon about the fact that her husband is cheating, she's just said it so blasé while they were at drinks. She was like, he's probably cheating on you. And obviously it's because she had also found out that her husband was cheating on her. But still, like, you
mm,
don't say it to someone who's just come to you in confidence to tell you that, her husband has just asked for a divorce, and you're saying he's probably cheating just because your husband was probably you because your husband was cheating.
mm,
And I don't know, I just find her to be very like mean.
mm.
She can be quite mean, so I don't know. Sometimes I find her to be a bit mean sometimes.
I think
And she kind of also acts like the world revolves around her a little bit, and you can see that when she gets annoyed that Soban isn't as infatuated with her as she would expect
mm,
him to be.
mm, mm.
So
So
yeah.
you could say she has a touch of not what's the word? She's not really in touch with the reality of things
Yeah,
around her, and then she lacks empathy towards people. Yes, she's a bit mean, but I feel like she's also a confident person. She knows what she wants,
yeah,
and
of course.
she has her boundaries, and she also doesn't take, cow dung from people. Like, I couldn't think of another word because I
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, I get it, it's fine.
she doesn't take that from people, and she's not the type of person that will allow you to walk all over her.
Yeah, she's a very nonsense type of girl,
Yes.
and yeah, she's very much like, I am who I am. This is who I am, and also like, and I'm
Take
not
it or
gonna
leave
compromise
it.
that for anybody. Yeah,
Exactly. Take it or
I mean,
leave
it's
it.
it's a good thing, but I mean, in this life is about give and take. I'm sorry, but
That's
this
true.
life is about give and take. So you also need to be able to kind of compromise sometimes, like we said,
Mm.
like bend a little bit. Like, you can't always live your life on that. This is who I am. I'm never gonna change. This, like. because ultimately situations do arise where you may need to compromise here or there. Like, that doesn't necessarily
Mm.
mean you're compromising your identity or who you are.
Yeah.
It's just the situation called for um compromise. I mean, we're all, I mean, for example, the pandemic that we've all been thrown in, the panini that we've all been thrown in, like, has made us, do you get what I mean? It
Yeah.
has made us like have to learn the art of compromise. Like, I'm sure a lot of people that got married between the time, the start of the whole like panoramic and now, everyone, like, anyone that got married, I'm sure they had to compromise because
Mm.
maybe they wanted 100 guests but they could only have 20 because of the amount of the number of people that you're allowed indoors at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
you've had to, we've all had to learn compromise in one way or the other. So it's
Mm.
kind of like, in this life, you can't just live your life on, this is it. It's always going to be dead set, and I'm not changing for nobody. Like, because
Mm.
ultimately, that's, life isn't like that. And that it can't apply all the time. It has its very positive points. Don't get me wrong, but in this life, you still have to be able to, like, like, bend a little bit and compromise a little bit, because, like I said, life is just about give and take, in my opinion,
Mm.
anyway.
Um.
So, but yeah, I think I just wanted to touch on that, because, and also going off her to go into the other marriage, the one that were together for like 30 years.
You mean the professor,
Yeah, the professor
the
as
professor
well.
and
Like,
his
what do
wife?
we think
Yeah.
about? Yeah, what do we think about the wife as well? Do you think she had any part to play in her marriage falling apart? I know you did speak about it last week when you said, like, he did try and like initiate something, and obviously she
Mm.
was not having any of it when he did take her to the motel and trying to spice up the marriage, and she wasn't having any of it. She was very embarrassed and she felt like, they were too grown for all that. So, apart from that, like, did you think in any way, like, she contributed to it?
I feel like she should have let him be. I don't know. I feel like this is going to upset some people, but I feel like she should have let
Speak
him
your truth, darling. Speak your truth.
be the man. Because if you look at his relationship with his mistress, like, he does everything for her, considering the fact, even to the fact of going grocery shopping, and he has never once done that for his wife, right? I don't
Mm.
see, the thing is that we don't know if she's ever asked him to go grocery shopping, or if she's always said, I'm gonna handle it, I'm gonna handle it, I'm going to handle it. You know, those people that never seem to need any help, and
Yeah,
they
but
feel
then
like they've.
even if you don't need help, like, you can still offer, like, that's not, I don't feel like that's a good enough excuse personally, because
No, I'm not
even if I don't
excusing
ask for
it.
help, if you no, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying that also, like, because some people will use it. I know what you mean, but it means human beings will take anything and run with it. So
That's
I
true.
just want to be clear that Simi is not excusing the fact of what he did, because I know, like, in this life, yeah, you can see someone swamped. You can see someone wake up at 6 a.m. to make sure that you have breakfast, knowing full well that they have
Mm,
work and that their
mm.
work is rigorous. You see the medicated wristbands that she has to wear. Clearly, her body is under a lot of stress.
And pressure.
If you really care, yeah, do you get what I mean? Like, if you really care, they don't need to ask. Like, sometimes that's the thing, that's the importance of initiative, taking initiative. You see
I think he
something and struggle.
lacked
See me,
that.
I'm not gonna see you exactly, because see me, I'm not gonna see you struggling to carry bags full of groceries and not reach out to help you. That's me taking initiative. I see
Mm.
you're struggling and I go ahead and act as to help you. Like, she doesn't need to act like a damsel in distress in order for him to
But the thing is that
help
some men
to
like
help
that.
her. See, and this brings me on to. I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring, like, I know we're kind of more of a, we're more of a K drama, like, not a K drama, sorry, a drama, like, TV based podcast. But
Podcast.
like, there's stuff going on around me in this life that it will definitely bleed into this. I'm sorry, it's gonna seep in here, because I've been scrolling on this internet, on this world wide web that I've been on, the same world wide web that we are all on, yeah. And I've seen that apparently some people are paying for classes on how to be more feminine so that they can attract high value men. And I say high quality men and high value men in quotation marks, because that's what they're apparently referring to men, these specific group of men as. I don't know, maybe they were bred a certain way. I don't know, man. Like, all I'm just hearing is all sorts of people getting paid going for master classes on how to be more feminine to attract like high quality men. Is this is just giving me that vibe, like the professor is giving me that vibe of the kind of guy that wants those women, the type of women that will act like a
Mm,
damsel in distress, act like the person that can't open a bottle of wine, act like the person that can't go shopping by herself. Like,
mm.
I don't know. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Is this what everybody? Is this what the guy wants now? Like, you don't want no independent woman no more? Like, because that's what they've been teaching us from young. Know how to be by yourself. Know how to earn for yourself. Know how to stand on your own. This, that, and the other. Now we're being told no. They like damsels in distress. They like you to act feminine. They like you to not to wait for them to open the car door for you. Like, I don't know. I'm getting a lot of mixed messages now. I'm just so confused.
I feel like it
So
depends
I don't know.
on the man, because some men, no man, some men like the, independent woman, the kind of like, go getter, and then some men like the gentle damsel in distress. And kind of going to your point about women going to master classes, is because some women, like, they've not had the opportunity to embrace their feminine side. They've not been taught their feminine side, or we don't know wherever some women's circumstances come from. And also,
Mhm.
you could also, you could, if the way I see it is that it kind of questions, is it that the world is so lacking few quality men that we feel like, okay, we need to do something about it now, like, for us to kind of attract the quality men.
Mhm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that actually, because I feel like, okay, I feel like women are now going out of their way to try, it's like, not to try and prove, not themselves, because they don't need to prove themselves, but they feel like they need to do something in, you know in
Order to show that
in order
they're
to
a certain
show
type of
that,
person.
yeah, in order to show that they're a certain type of person, and also in order to show that, they are worthy of some certain type of men. Because all you see, if you, let me not lie to you, Tommy, all I see on social media is, he did this, he cheated on her, he did. So a lot of women are scared that there's not enough good men out there, that, that won't,
There
you know
isn't, by the way. There's like 10. So just saying, I'm actually just saying my husband is one of them, but there's like 10,
that won't
if we're being honest. But
take their heart, stomp on it, throw it on, put it in the washing machine, rinse it out, squeeze it, and then put it. Like, us women, like, some of us, we're very delicate, and so heartbreak. It's one of those
it's not
things.
some of us. Everyone is delicate in one way. Like, no one
Mm.
wants to get their heart broken. I mean, if you actively choose to look for getting your heart broken, then I don't know, again, maybe you, baby girl, you need therapy, or baby boy too, you need therapy. But
Therapy.
I don't think anyone actively looks for a heartbreak. Like, actively actually is searching for one. But I don't
That's
know, man.
true.
Do you know what it is? I'm not trying to clown people who are going for these classes or whatever. Do you, at the end of the day, it's your money, it's
Mm.
your time, do whatever you want. My issue is, what is the reasoning behind it? Like, I just don't, I find it very, I don't know, man. I don't want to say sad, but it is sad. Like, to me, it's sad that you feel like you need to change yourself, or shift yourself into be a certain type of way in order for you to feel like you can attract a certain type of demographic. Like, I find it very suspect, and I also find it a little bit sad, because I feel like ultimately, if you want to explore your femininity, do that, but do it because you want to do it for yourself, not because you want to
Do
try and
it for a
attract a
man.
certain type of man. Like,
Mm.
because you can't live your life trying to, and now this, oh, oh wow, we've come full circle. I love this for me. Oh my goodness, because what I'm about to say is basically going to bring us into the topic of today, because ultimately, um like, if you're doing all these things for thinking, because, oh, my man, I need to attract a good guy, I need to attract this high value man, ultimately you're doing all these things, but I promise you that's not what's going to keep him. Like, that's not what's going to make him
Mm.
stay or make him be loyal to you. Like, that's not what is going to make him decide that he doesn't want to cheat on you, or that's not what is going to make him decide that you're more worthy, or like there's like it makes it so sad. Like to me, I just feel like like you shouldn't have to change yourself or mold yourself into something that you're not, or who a
Mm.
person that you're not really, or something that you don't want to be, or that's not really you, just to try and please a man, or just to try and keep a man, or just to try and attract a man. Like I find it to be very sad, because I can promise you, baby girl, he's not doing any of that for you. Like, and that's the facts. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think a lot of men are out there trying to change themselves to be a certain way for high value or high quality women. Like, I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. But I mean, I do stand corrected, because at the end of the day, I don't know every single man in this earth. So I do stand corrected. Like, and
Mm.
if you are one of them men that do have go to masculinity classes to try and attract high value women, please let me know, because I would actually love to know. I would like to even see, maybe there were classes like that, because I don't know, I just find it hard to believe. Which brings me on perfectly to Pyong's family.
Oh,
It brings me perfectly on to a
oh,
woman who claims that, she goes to where all the like fancy bars and fancy restaurants, and kind of just observes women and observes fashion to see
mm,
what's the latest fashion trend. So she's always wearing the latest fashion trend, and
mm,
always making sure that she's up, like she's in tip top shape, just to make sure that her husband doesn't think that she's getting old, and she's no longer,
mm.
in tune with what is going on in her world. She cooks, she cleans, she takes care of her daughter to the best of her ability. She's always there for the in-laws, doing the
She
absolute
works. She
most.
does the most. I mean, like
And she
she
also has her own 9 to 5.
honestly, like they in this drama, they gave us the picture perfect wife. I mean, there is nothing this woman could not do. Like, is it is it cleaning? She does it. Is it, even sexual relations? She does it. Like she
She
did.
does it. Yeah, exactly. They be getting it in bed as well. So it's like she's she's well rounded. So
Honestly, like,
and still, the thing is, and still her man be cheating, which goes to show. Before we even get to it, I've been saying this for a very long time. See, yeah, human beings, men, you can jump from the highest building on this earth, right, and jump and land on your feet. Yeah, men will still cheat. Like, there's actually not, like, ultimately. And I really want people who have been like cheated on
mm,
to really understand this, that it's not your
your
fault.
fault.
Plus, the woman that was acting fully like independent, and she kind of forgot that she was in a marriage, and when you come to marriage you have to compromise, or the woman that
Mm,
carried her whole household on her back and did everything that she could, in order to make sure that they were all stable, everybody was happy in the home. Plus the woman that is literally well rounded. Can she
rounded.
cook? Yes, she does. Does she clean? Yes, she
Yes,
does.
she
Is she a
does.
mother? Yes, she
She
is.
should.
Does she work? Yes, she does. Like, she does everything that like, a picture perfect wife would do, a picture perfect mother would do, a picture perfect
A
in-law would do, a
superwoman.
picture perfect woman would do. And still her man be cheating, which goes to show they will cheat regardless. Like, there's nothing you can actually do on this earth to stop someone from cheating, because cheating is a choice. Infidelity is a choice. You
Mm,
choose. Like, you don't like, that's why I'm not here for anyone that says, oh, it was a mistake. It wasn't, though, because
you made
a
that choice.
mistake is something that you didn't mean for it to happen. Cheating, you meant for that thing to happen, because there's a like, you don't just wake up and have sex with someone. You don't just wake up and emotionally like cheat with someone. It
Mm,
started with a conversation.
of
it
course.
started with it started with drinks, or it started with going to one each other's apartment, or
Mm.
going to a hotel. Like, there was
And
some form of transaction that had to happen.
there's always a boundary that you cross, especially when
Yep.
it comes to cheating. There's always a boundary that
100%.
you cross. If you look at I'm just going to call him the doctor slash psychiatrist because I can't remember his
Yeah.
name. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I don't really like him that much. So
Oh, he's my least favorite character. He makes me sick.
honestly,
Which goes to show he's a very the man the actor that
actor,
plays him is a very good actor,
very
because
good.
I literally look at him, I just want to slap him to the screen and say, you, yeah, you. My goodness. I just get so angry just looking at his face. Just makes me so angry. Him and his mistress, they just make me so angry.
You
And
know
it's like
what?
I should just dash my laptop across
No,
the room.
but
I get so upset.
if you think
Like,
about
oh
it, I think he's been cheating for a very, very long time because it's not even just his mistress, it's his stepmother too. Do you know what? His
yes.
stepmother killed his whole house father for him so she can get into bed with him. And he'll be saying
Like
stuff like, oh my god, you look good for your age, and then I don't know, just like flirty comments that you're not supposed to be talking like
see
to
yeah.
your
First let's
mom.
start let's start with him first because how do I even where do I even because it's just a web. So where do I start? Because I want to talk about the stepmom, him and his stepmom's dynamic,
I
but I
think
also want us to talk about,
what I think we should
him
do
and his
is
wife.
we should start with him and his wife, then go into his stepmom,
Him and
and
his
then go
stepmom.
into the
Okay, cool.
mistress. Because if you think about it, it is from the stepmom because the stepmom thinks that because she keeps it, put together, she's,
Mm-hmm.
athletically fit, he's only going to cheat, he's gonna cheat on her, cheat on his wife with her. This is what the stepmom thinks,
Which is madness.
by the way. And he ends up cheating on a younger woman. So, all right, let's go into the relationship with the wife. I don't know. I
Okay.
feel like Loki, he doesn't love his wife that much.
I feel like she gives him the picture. Yeah, that's it. I feel like she gives him the picture perfect home. You know, there's oh, I'm about to sneeze. How this is just the worst time. I feel like she gives him the word like the picture perfect home. Like
Mm,
that like like is it the Brady Bunch?
I don't know what you're trying to
You
say.
know that like a nuclear family. You know that
Mm,
nuclear type of family like
mm,
father, mother, child,
child.
pet kind of situation.
Mm,
Like they have like that nuclear family type of situation going. Like it's just picture perfect. Everything is rosy. Like the husband brings home the mullah. He comes home to his doting wife. They have sex. They have a happy home. He takes care of the child. Like that very like
mm.
very cliche happy family kind of picture perfect home. And I feel like it helps him to kind of feel like yeah he's normal because he's actually not normal. He's not normal by the way. He's not no 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 no. No, he's not normal. He's not normal. He's
To
not
me, you're
normal. Trust
cracking
me,
me
he's
up.
not normal.
Stop.
Because no, because no, he can't be normal. That's not. It's not normal. It's not actually. No, he's genuinely not well. Like I feel like he needs to also go to a psychiatrist himself because he's not well.
He needs to
Because
see a therapist.
like no,
I
no,
agree
no,
with
no,
that.
he's actually not well because the dynamic between his stepmother makes it like makes me know that he's not well. Like he's actually not okay. The head, but it's okay. So why I feel like he doesn't love his wife because I feel like she's
Mm.
boring to him. There's no flair. She's just the normal everyday wife. Like
There's no
there's no
spice. No, but he's
spice. Yeah.
but But then what is it that he needs for it to be spicy? Does he want her to be fighting him? Like I don't get what kind of
Sis,
spice because this
I
woman,
don't know.
she,
Because and the thing is, that's the only way I can like rationalize it because I'm trying to think what else can she be? Because she actually seems like she's actually quite interesting. Like when you have her in
yeah.
conversations, she seems like she's lit. Like so I don't really know. I don't really know, but because I'm trying to understand. Because when he did the comparison with the apples, like that's the only time I could be like, okay, like, are you
Okay,
trying to
she could.
say that she's not zingy? I don't even know at this point. I'm even bringing all sorts of words now because I don't know. Like, is it that she's not like she doesn't have a certain flair about her? Like, because when he compared her to the mistress, I don't really understand what attracted him about the apple, like eating an
I don't
apple
get it either.
silently.
Like eating an apple, guys. So if
That
you
sounds like a
know,
weird fetish, but anyway.
yeah, if you guys know like what the meaning is of eating an apple without making sound, because I've tried it. I actually went and got an apple because in my kitchen, and I tried to eat it without
Hmm.
making
Making
to
a
me
sound.
it's virtually like your teeth has to do the crunchy thing, but then
I feel like there's a bit of intrigue, because I mean he'd been talking about it, and the thing is, his wife even knew about the story of the kid that was eating that apple like without making a sound. Like she knew about the story and everything. So I feel like for him it started with intrigue. Like he was like,
Mm.
okay, this is
No,
different.
but I
This
feel
is
like
something I
his
don't know.
mistress kind of targeted him, if you know what I mean, because she was already having this kind of sort of thought from the plane, from the jump,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And she was
She
even
said she
trying.
fell in love at first sight.
Is that what she said? I missed that
I
part.
think so. I think so. I think like it was when he was trying to be like, oh, we can't be together, but then she was like, no, but like I just wanna, I just like I can't not be with you because I have these feelings and they're not gonna go away. I think she said something along those lines, like because like she basically fell for him and immediately,
At first
so it
sight.
was hard for
I
her.
don't
Yeah,
know.
so
Do
it's
to be honest.
I don't think she used those exact words, but she was kind of, I think she was kind of insinuating that it was always gonna happen because the minute like they had an interaction, like she just fell for him,
But
kind of
to be
thing.
honest, have you ever look? Let's look at this. Have you ever fell for someone at first sight? Like I've seen someone and said he's cute, but I wouldn't say, oh, I'm in love with someone and I want to, And then I notice his ring and
Um,
then go all out to come and now, like
I mean,
that's
I don't know if this counts as first sight. I wouldn't say first sight. Like at first interaction, I have fallen for someone at first interaction, but not in love, like in
I
very
don't think
strong
it's
light.
love. I feel like it's lust. I feel like she fell in lust because for love to develop, you have to. For me, it's all purely sexual. Their relationship is purely
I mean,
sexual.
sis is her. Like, I mean, sis. I mean, to be honest, I can't lie and say like I haven't. Me personally, speaking from a personal point of view,
Mm,
I can't say that. Like, cause I'm just thinking of there was a person. There's one person in my head that I'm thinking of when I'm saying this. Trust me. At first interaction, I knew I liked him straight away. I said, "This one is him. Yeah, I like him. Yeah, I like him." So, and like it was his intellect, the way he spoke, the way he carried himself, everything just drew me in. Like I was just, like a wasp to a flame. Like it was literally like that. Like I just was really infatuated with him. So I think in her, like from her point of view, is like that. But then one thing about me is, yeah, I can crush on you from now to next year. Yeah, the minute I find out you're with someone, it's like as in it's a lock off. Like
mm.
as in chapter closed. Like so
Okay,
I
bye
think
bye.
that's the difference. That's I mean obviously that's the difference between me and the mistress, clearly, because she's there busy fantasizing about him and horse riding and everything with him,
No, no. If
whereas
you know, wait, pause, Tommy. Think about it from the plane, right? Think about it from the plane. She was
hmm
fantasizing with like this guy did not even look at her from the plane. It was when she fell, right? It was when she fell, and he kind of like, oh, it's like that's when he kind of like noticed her. First of all, he didn't notice her. That's one thing for me. He did not notice her
yeah,
until she fell. Right? Let's think about it
again,
from there.
damsel in distress. Oh my gosh.
Okay, then that's when they went to in the plane. They went to the bar section and they were talking about
hmm
apples, and she showed him that she could eat apples with the thing. When okay, now listen, I'm breaking the timeline down because I've been thinking about this thing for quite some time because I just think
Okay,
it's mad. Okay, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Okay, the
I'll stay.
next thing, the next thing is then they're off the plane. She gets a call that the guy that is supposed to come pick her up cannot come again. Okay, which is a coincidence, obviously. And he's
hmm
now like, "Oh, okay, where are you
Is
going?
it? Is it?
Where are you going?" He goes, she goes, she goes, "I'm going that this side." He goes, "Oh, I'm going close to there. Let me take you there." He calls his wife that he's landed. Yeah, but he's met
hmm
a friend and they're going for drinks. That's when, for me, I was like, huh, this guy is already now, he's taking an interest in her, but not to the extent of wanting to cross that boundary yet.
hmm
So he drops her off home, make sure he sees her that, because she's coming from America. So he's being helpful, like, okay, just make sure you put in a lock code. Even yeah, and she puts in a lock code that he knows. He knows. So for me,
Yeah, so she's been very like calculated from jump. Yeah,
I
you're right.
you got it. You got it.
She's been very calculated.
She's been very calculated because she already first. Okay, yes, I agree. She saw him for first sight, but for you to even go to that extent, you saw his rings, and then when the guy said no, we cannot do this, you decided you wanted to go back to America, right? She went. That is a is it's almost like a manipulation kind of tactic.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
went to
for
America, did
sure.
not talk to this guy for what, a week, 2 weeks, and then she calls him and says, "I want to see you." It's not her birthday. She's all alone in the country. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, as in you really didn't have to choose to spend your birthday all alone in a country that you don't really have friends. Like you
And
chose
then
to
he
do that on purpose.
invites him over. There's a glass of wine, and then it's like, I really love. Come on. Sis had already decided, okay, I'm going to spend my birthday alone. Right? This she is going into the industry, like the acting industry. The girl,
Hmm.
I feel like she was smart. She was smart in the way she trapped this guy.
Nah, she was very calculated. Is one thing I will say.
Smart,
Like she
calculated,
knew
street
what she
smart.
was. No, she knew what she was doing. 100% knew what she was doing. She knew from jump. She said, "This man, you're gonna be mine, and I'm gonna capture you for sure."
Exactly.
And I'm not surprised.
And she
Like
and
I'm
she did
not
it.
surprised that. Ah, God, where do we even? Where I God?
She did
Because
it.
me, I'm not even like. I think that is one of the reasons why out of all the mistresses, she's the one I hate the most. Because I'm like,
I think she's the
you
worst.
purposefully, yeah, she is the worst because
She's the
she
worst.
went, she knew right that this man was married and she actively pursued. It's not one of them ones that we like each other and we just mesh like the lawyer, and it's not like, and his gym body, it's not one of them ones that they just have good like good chemistry. It's not like that. Like
Mm.
she actively pursued this man. Like there was no need for it. Like, and him as well, like there was so many times that he didn't need to cross the boundary,
To be honest,
but then he still crossed it.
He didn't want to cross the boundary. I feel like he had enough respect for his wife. He has enough respect for his wife that he actually even told his mistress that, do not ever try and make me choose between you and my family, because it's not going to happen. I'm not
i
going to
don't
choose you.
I don't think it was respect though.
Maybe it's not respect. I don't know what
I
that.
don't think it's respect. I think he just doesn't. You know, there's some men that ultimately they want to do all the other things with their mistresses. They want to just cheat outside, but still come back to the normal, like
Home.
the normality of their life. Like they don't want anything to change from their normal, routine, like from their normal, like everyday. This is the standard
Mm.
because ultimately, and do you know what it is? It's from a place of manipulation because it doesn't get better than that.
Mm.
He knows he's never gonna get as a like a woman that's just as is that is as well rounded as
His
she
wife
is.
is, yeah.
No, he's. I mean, sorry, like she's one in a million. I can't like because even me, like I hope to be able to do all of that if
And
when I do get married.
and she doesn't even have a maid or anything. Like, she
No, she does it all by herself.
I'm just thinking, when does this woman sleep? How is she not tired like the professor's wife? Because I would understand, like, the professor, she's working too hard, but this woman, house is clean, job is perfect, daughter.
No, I think she does have a maid. I think they do have a maid, but I think it's not one of the. It's not like the older generation where they have like a maid that comes in every day. I think they do have a maid, but
Oh,
it's
do
not.
they?
I don't think it's one of them. I think because I remember when she was saying that they were berating Lee Sion or Seon about the fact that she let herself go in terms of like
Mm.
her outward appearance, and she was like, "Well, you people have maids. I don't."
Ah, okay. So
Yeah,
she may
and
have,
I've got
like,
kids.
maybe, yeah.
So
But
she may get help, maybe like a cleaner or something. But other than that, which to be honest doesn't really mean much,
yeah,
because
she
a
still
cleaner will come
cooks
what? How many days
once
times
a
in a
week.
exactly? She still cooks. she still does all the other things in the house. So I wouldn't really say like that's enough of a reason for him to be like, yeah, like she doesn't carry all the whole household on her back. She does.
Mm.
So I genuinely feel like it's not from a place of respect for her. Neither do I feel like it's because of love or anything like that. Obviously, we know it's not really love. Like I think it's more of a he doesn't want to jeopardize what's good
Mm.
for his curiosity outside.
That
You know,
that
it's
is
like
a very
wanting to
fair
have your
point.
cake and eat it.
Yes. Well, you can't
That's
do
what he's
that.
trying to do. Well, I mean, he's clearly trying.
The
And
thing
I
is that
also feel like there's something to be said about this. Again, I bring it back to this whole feminine energy thing because his wife is basically superwoman. And then there's this other girl who basically is damsel in distress. She when she landed at the airport, the person that was meant to give her a ride cancelled on her. She was a damsel in
mm,
distress, so he felt like he was the hero swooping in
swooping
to
in.
take her, make sure that she's secure in the home that she is, making sure that her security, like her passcode for her door is there, and he knows it and all that good stuff. Like I'm just like like even to when they're going horse riding, like he's even
Teaching
teaching her
her
how to
horse
do it.
rides.
And
Yeah.
he's like, yeah. And so it just makes me seem like, okay, yeah, I feel like he just likes that whole damsel in distress thing of her needing him to help her with things, whereas his wife, I don't think gives him that vibe. I mean, she doesn't give me that vibe because sis seems like
Mm,
she can do everything on her own. She doesn't need anyone's help. So I think definitely that has a part to play in it for sure.
mm, mm,
But
mm.
I think now I think we should also like now bring the
Stepmother.
into the conversation, yeah, the dynamic of him and his stepmom, because I actually feel like there's some emotional cheating going on there, because he talks to her about everything. They go like there's a lot going on there in my opinion. But yes,
Yeah.
maybe you should start it off.
So like with the stepmother, I believe, where do I even start? First of all, this guy goes swimming with her. He goes they have dinner together. Like this is all even before his dad passes away and after his dad passes away. And the way she do you know what? It goes back to the whole almost damsel in distress thing you were saying, because when his dad passed away, he was there, like as in like the lady will act all frail, like oh my god, what will I do without your father? And
Yeah,
to the fact that wife even clocked his wife was clocking that like she's taking this grief to the extreme.
as in
You,
his sis is really doing the most.
yes, yes, and even the wife's mom, the doctor's wife's mom, his mother-in-law, even clocked. He took her to the amusement park, and this woman, dr- she dresses up as a young schoolgirl, and he dresses up as
Yeah,
a
it's a bit much.
yeah. So I feel like he has some. To be honest, I think he has some mother issues, not mother issues, emotional trauma, or yeah, the way you have daddy
Yeah,
issues, he's got mother issues because he never
yeah, because
received that
yeah,
love
exactly,
from his
exactly,
biological mother, right?
exactly.
And because of that, he is very, 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 very attached to his stepmom, almost to the point that they could cross boundaries.
Yeah, because I mean, from the conversations that they've had, we know that she's his first love.
Exactly. And he
So
and he had the
yeah.
guts to even say, "Yeah, you're my first love." And
What did he say to her?
well, he said it to his mistress that his mom was his first love, because
His first love, yeah.
even the mistress was like, "Wait, what?" Like,
So
'cause-
it's like he has a woman for each. I don't know. He is so complex. Like I'm still struggling to understand his character and his like the intricacies of his character,
mm,
because we understand. Like I understand where the professor's one where it stems from.
yeah,
I understand where the lawyer's own stems from, but I'm really struggling to understand where his comes from,
mm,
because his is like the way he looks at his stepmother is kind of like almost like a point of idolizing her. So when he
mm,
says stepmom, like, oh, his wife should start swimming because you know she needs to watch her figure, and it's not going to be any, like, there's no point in her swimming when she's old, when, I mean, when her body's already sagging or whatever. And I was just
Mm.
like, what the heck? Like, how are you having this kind of conversation with your stepmother? And then not only that, like, so it's things like that that I find to be emotionally cheating. Like, if you have
Mm.
a problem, just like talk to your wife. Why are you telling somebody else outside of your marriage things that you like, worries in your own marriage that is not your
Mm.
psychiatrist, but in fact is your first love? And you clearly, you know that you have like an abnormal emotional attachment to this woman.
Mm. And even to the extent that she wouldn't even give the wife the recipe of his favorite food. Like, I don't know if you see that. That scene was
That
funny to
that
me.
I love. Do you know what his wife? Yeah, Pyong. Yeah, because that's her name. Pyong is a G. I absolutely love her.
No,
I say,
I
you know
like
what?
her.
That is queen vibes. That is queen vibes. What she did there. Because guys,
Mm.
let me break it down to you. So basically, the stepmother has been trying to. So we find out from watching the show that the stepmom has been trying to actively fatten her husband, because obviously we know that
Mm.
obviously the older you get, the more prone you are to high blood pressure and cardiac like issues and stuff like that.
Yes.
So what she does is, knowing full well that he has kind of like a cardiac issues, she makes him eat carbohydrate, like heavy foods, and then she makes him eat a lot of salt and stuff like that, and she
Mm.
hides it under like trying to give him healthy foods. But then they seem to be quite like salty, like food that are quite high in salt, and
Mm.
foods that are quite high in carbohydrates. So now there's this specific dish that like um that
Young.
Pyong's husband absolutely loves, that he's always raving about, when that his stepmother makes. And he's always like, oh, some chicken dish. And he's like, and then he's like, oh, my stepmom is, she's the best at making this, like apparently,
Mm.
like he just absolutely loves it. And obviously, the stepmom is too busy focusing on the fact that she's trying to basically
Murder her
kill
husband.
off her husband, who
Who
is
is
Pyong's husband's, like
father?
the psychiatrist's father, basically.
Yeah.
So the psychiatrist's father, his was still alive. We see him die in the show, but like when he was still alive, like he really doted on his wife, who is obviously the stepmother.
Mm.
And he's like, oh, um the stepmother, her name is Dongmi. Actually, I don't know why
Dong
I'm not
me.
using her name. So like obviously, like, so we see the psychiatrist, we see Dongmi trying to kill off her husband. And so one of the dishes that she makes is full of salt, like is a bit more saltier than he would have expected. And she makes
Mm.
it with, in regards to like um killing off her husband type of situation. And then obviously she gets on unexpected guests, which is her daughter-in-law Pyong, and Pyong's daughter. So then they come, and then
Mm.
they eat the food, and she's like, oh, I'll need to season this again, like I clearly didn't season this well, I'll fix this later. So Pyong is like, oh, okay, well, let me just go to the kitchen and just help around, maybe wash the dishes and stuff.
Mm.
Only for her to pack up all, she packed all the dishes up, and then brought it home and gave it to her husband to eat. And her husband was like, oh, like, Pyong, maybe you should stay away from this cooking this food, it's only my stepmother that can cook this food the best, and I don't think it's made like you can cook it, maybe you ask for her
Mm.
recipe. And the thing is, Pyong did the right thing, in she's asked for the recipe multiple times, but the stepmother didn't want to give it to her. Obviously, because we know that she has her own sinister reasons behind it.
Mhm.
Only for Pyong to say, no, I'm not the one that cooked the food, it's your beloved stepmother that cooked that food, it's not me. I'm
That's
not
so
gonna cook
smart.
something I don't know. She said, you know what? And this is why it's not good for you to be eating these types of food. This is why the food I make in this home is the best. Like, I said, sis was even giving her own some brownie points. We love to see it. I said, you know what? That's a bit of me. I love that. Reload it. I was so happy when I saw that, because I said, you know what? Yeah, because he idolizes his stepmom. And it's like, it's
Yeah.
a really, I don't know, it's a really weird dynamic. Like, it really freaks me out, I must
Very.
say.
To be honest, I thought from the beginning he was going to end up cheating on his wife with his stepmom, because I was just like, yeah, this guy's going to do it. But then this other mistress comes in, and I was like, what?
And then
Rah!
threw the spanner in the works for Pyong.
Puppy.
Sorry, not for Pyong, for Dongmi. And then so let like moving on from that as well, because now not only, oh lord, not only not only does this professor no, not the professor, sorry, the psychiatrist go for a younger lady. Guess who he goes for? He goes for the daughter, the estranged daughter of the Oriental doctor.
Doctor.
Dun, dun, dun,
Woo. Wait, let's
dun.
let's set the stage, Tommy. Let's set the stage. So this Oriental doctor, you see him in multiple episodes because he is the
Yeah.
one that interacts with all three husbands and knows that all three husbands are cheating. So
Yep.
from beginning you think this Oriental doctor, because he was at one scene he speaks to the professor and says, look, I understand what you're going through, and most of my
Mm-hmm.
customers, whenever they are coming to buy something for their mistress, they end up sending it to their workplace or something so that they can give it to their mistress themselves, so that the
Yep.
wife does not clock, right? So this Oriental doctor is well known by these three different men: the lawyer, the
Yeah.
psychiatrist, and the professor. So this Oriental doctor,
And also the lawyer's dad as well.
oh, the lawyer's dad as well, so they're all kind of interconnected, right? So they
Yeah.
and this Oriental doctor, we find out that when he was having a lunch with the psychiatrist, um, he gets a call. He gets a call from a woman, and he was like, "Oh, it's my wife." And then the next thing is we hear "apa," which means dad, and then we're like,
Yeah.
so me, you could just imagine. I got question marks in my head. I was like, "Wait, what?" This person just didn't just say his wife. I was just thinking, are they doing some
Wife,
kind of
yeah.
like fetish kind of like thing? But then you see the reaction of the psychiatrist in speech bubbles, because they show it that why didn't he just say that was his daughter? Because
Yeah.
so anyway, at the end, we find out that this Oriental doctor, this one that looks so innocent, the one that everybody was like, we thought throughout the entire drama was the most honorable of all four men or five men that we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he first of all has an estranged daughter. He does not, that we only find out at the end of the series, because in season 2 that's when things are gonna pop off. He only finds out
Yeah.
that he's got a daughter from his youth, that his one of the mistresses, Ami's mother did not abort her,
Yeah.
rather that she went to America and raised Ami there, so he didn't
Yeah.
even know that she was alive.
About, yeah, I didn't even know that the Ami was alive. And remember, Ami is the mistress of the psychiatrist, the
Psychiatrist.
one that is mad. But anyway.
So Ami is the mistress of the psychiatrist. And funny enough, Ami has met her dad when they went horse riding. And then the psychiatrist, Thomas eyes. Did you not
Do
clock?
you know, like, guys, I didn't clock. I completely forgot that he's actually met her. Oh
Yes.
my goodness. He's met her. Oh my god. They went so the psychiatrist and his mistress, Ami, went on a went horse riding, and obviously, like we said, like they're all kind of in the same social circles. So the Oriental doctor also went horse riding. He goes horse riding by himself, because apparently his son doesn't like horse riding. And they bump
Yeah.
into each other, and then the psychiatrist introduces Ami
As
as
his
his cousin
cousin.
from
America.
abroad, only for him to, oh my god, only for him to probably find out in season 2 that was actually his daughter. This is about to be a whole hot mess,
It's
and
a
I'm here
whole
for
hot
it.
mess because the Oriental doctor now knows that the psychiatrist has been laying it down, bending over his daughter's back that he did not know. And
Mm-hmm.
also, this Oriental doctor has another daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of his marriage, which means he's been
Mm-hmm.
cheating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, he has a son with his current wife, because we see in the end a family picture, and there's no daughter in the family picture because it
Yeah.
says he has a son,
One child.
one
Yeah, he
child,
said he has a son. Yeah.
one child. So he doesn't even acknowledge his other daughter,
Oh
daughter,
gosh.
daughter A. Daughter B is the
Yeah.
estranged one. He doesn't even acknowledge daughter A.
To
But
be
he's
honest,
very,
she should be Doctor B because she came second.
to be fair, yeah, that's true. But yeah,
Yeah.
semantics. All I'm just saying is the oriented doctor, he's messy. There's even children involved
He
in
could
all
be
of
the worst
this.
of them all.
He, three women. So he's got three children from three different women.
Basically, my
One
guy
he's married
decided he was
to,
gonna be. I don't even
Casanova.
know. He was really gonna. He was really gonna spread his seed. He was really gonna be fruitful and multiply. That's what he said. He took the words literally.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't think his wife knows that he's cheating.
No,
Because
I don't think so. Obviously
I
not. I
don't
don't
think
think
his
so.
wife knows he's
Because
cheating.
he really is putting on that whole um perfect
Family,
husband. Yeah.
perfect husband, perfect family. So all of them is a mess. And that's why I can't wait for season 2. And the fact that we have to wait a year. Again.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I spoke about this in the previous episode, but I'm going to speak about it again because I just needed to also remind you. One thing I don't like about that psychiatrist guy is that he can dish it, but he can't take it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
He can dish it, but he can't take it because at any like at even is a tiny little tidbit inkling that anybody is even showing in any interest in his wife, he's already on the defensive. He's already wanting to know who is he, where is he from, what does he do, where did you know him from, how do you know him, what did you talk about? Like so
Jealousy.
basically, like he's very like jealous, but he does it in a very subtle way. So unless you're paying attention, you won't notice. So
Mm-hmm.
a very good example was that Soban, who is
Soban.
this is it the executive director
No,
or
sound
something
engineer.
like that.
Sound
Oh, sorry,
engineer.
the sound engineer. Okay. So he's so Soban is the sound engineer that the three ladies work with, right? The guy, the male sound engineer that they work with.
Mm,
And he obviously we know that he comes from money or he seems to be quite rich, but we don't really know much about his life
mm,
because he doesn't want us to like he actively declines their question and tells them I choose not to answer your question. So we don't really know much about his life. And he's so there's a scene where they've agreed to go out for dinner, but before prior to the dinner he gives them a box of caviar. And
yeah.
he's like and 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 they're like, what, caviar? And it's not the cheap kind, it's the expensive,
Expensive
you know,
kind.
this is the expensive kind of caviar. Like it's a very expensive slice of toast kind of caviar.
Mm,
And he gives it to them and there's like 30 in a box. And he's like, well, they can share it amongst themselves, so obviously everybody gets 10 each. And so he gives it to them, and then like so each of the ladies take it home. So Pyong takes her share home, and then she's obviously, you know, doing up chef in the kitchen, doing up all
mm,
sorts like an afternoon tea, expensive afternoon tea kind of setup. She has all the sandwiches, a salmon with a little bit of caviar on top, and
mm,
like, you know, what's it called, soft cheese. Like sis is doing all the delicacies, only for my man to be like, how much is this costing me? Like that's that being her husband. The psychiatrist asks her, like, obviously when he notices the caviar, like, oh, like how much is this lunch costing me? And she's like, nothing actually, that I it got gifted already. My man's like, who gifted you caviar, who's gonna give you caviar? And she's like, oh, Soban gave it to me. He's like, he gave you caviar? Like, she was like, he goes on to ask very leading questions, like stuff like, oh,
Was
was
it
it
just
only like
you?
why was it just no, he didn't even ask just you. He said, why did he give, like, he said, why is he giving you caviar? And she was like, oh, it wasn't just me. Then she rebuttals it with, it wasn't just me. Like, he gave it to all of us. And then he's like,
Mm,
then he was like, why? And then she was like, well, you know, he says he doesn't like caviar. Like, he was like, and then he's trying to there throw little digs at Soban, like, oh, he must be tacky because he doesn't like,
like
he must be
caviar.
tacky and not have expensive taste because he doesn't like expensive things. Like, and he doesn't like good things. I'm like, boy, bye. Like, you are the one that doesn't have good taste. You see a wonderful delicacy of a woman in front of you, right? Instead of you to savor and enjoy every moment of her, you're deciding you want to go and eat McDonald's outside. That's dumb.
And not even that. The madness of buying the same perfume his wife wears, like his wife
Don't
wears,
even, oh my goodness, he's a
and
mess.
gifts it to his mistress so
Can you
that
imagine? This
she
is what
will
I tweeted
never
this, you
clock.
know.
She will
I
never
tweeted
clock.
this. I tweeted this. That is actually cheating 101. That is cheating 101. Like if like that that was ingenious. I'm so sorry. Like I have to give him props for that because that was smart. Like you're not because his wife is never going to be able to smell
Of this other
the
lady.
scent of another lady because he literally gave his mistress his wife's perfume. That is master trickery right there. That
When
is
I saw that
smart. I'm sorry
scene,
because
when I saw that scene, I was like, wow. I was
assassin
like,
men. Huh?
so wow. Like this guy,
Assassin men.
he must have really thought about how can I keep her from finding, because she is clueless. She thinks she's got it all. Her man is loyal, faithful, only for him to go and buy the same. By the way, the perfume is Guerlain. Yeah, Guerlain. It's a Parisian brand. Not.
Oh,
I went to go and look that perfume up.
really?
One day it's gonna be on my table, on my dressing table, because she has nice taste. Let's not lie. Yeah, she's got nice taste. So I'm going to
Yeah,
go and buy
she
her
does have
that
nice taste.
perfume. Buy
Mm.
his mistress that perfume. Hot mess, a hot mess. When I saw that, I was like, no wonder he's not got caught in season one. And the thing is that her downfall, I know you told me you've been saying it since day one, is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
the most painful when she finds out. Because
Yep.
his her mother, first of all, she tried to warn her that, look, first of all, this whole thing with your with his stepmom, kind of fishy, right? And she's like,
Mm-hmm.
why are you trying to ruin my relationship? And also,
Yep.
the mother told her she had a dream. Me, yeah, I don't mess with dreams. When people see something in the dreams, I'm always asking questions. What happened? I'm just that person. I'm just that type of person. Okay. Some people like, tarot readings. I like dreams. Okay. What happened?
Okay.
What did you see in the dream? Like the woman, and in Korean culture, dreams are quite significant,
They're
right?
meaningful. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very meaningful, and I believe dreams are meaningful. So this woman, her mom, yes, Si Pyong's mom, dreamt
Mm-hmm.
that there's another lady in the bed between her and her husband.
Yeah.
And then this, okay, it's not nice to hear. Instead of you, for me, yeah, me, I'd have gone to Gan. Like for me, if someone had told me that, start to go and pray. I mean, get on my knees and start.
So, dear Lord, police in my marriage. Please don't let no woman come between me and my husband. Nah, like for me, I just feel like her fall is gonna be the most painful one because she won't know where to start to be like, where did I go wrong?
Because
Because
she
the
hasn't.
other ladies can be like pinpoint something. The drummer girl can be like, "Oh, is it because I didn't give you kids?" Like, okay,
Mm,
well, if I have kids now, will you still stay with me? The other lady can the say yon or the whatever say
the professor's
un
wife.
is that her name? The professor's wife. She can say, "Oh, is it because I didn't try having sex with you, or like maybe it's
Mm,
because we haven't been intimate like that? Okay, maybe when I start being intimate with you again." Or maybe it's because I've not been, taking care of my outward appearance. Maybe I've let myself go too long.
mm.
Maybe I'm gonna try. But what will P Young be able to be like? You know what?
Pinpoint.
Where did I go wrong?
She can't
She's not
because
gonna be
there's
able
nothing.
to. Yeah, and I feel bad for her in that sense because it's like it's hard. It's like when something goes wrong in your life, you always try and grasp out like maybe it was me, maybe I did. If I hadn't done this or if I had done that, maybe it would be better. But for her, like it's like she's done everything that she's supposed to do, and I say supposed to do
Mm,
like with a lot
like
of quotation
society,
because there's
yes.
yeah there's really there's no clear cut marriage manual. But yeah, so she does what society would deem as important for a woman or a wife to do, and still her man ended up cheating on her, and also
Mm,
plays a comparison game between her and his stepmom, um which is her mother-in-law, and it's just all a whole
mm,
hot ass mess. And I feel really sorry for her because she's never been able to see what's right under her nose because she's so busy like paying like sitting she sits on her high horse a little bit sometimes, and I don't think she realizes that she does, but she does.
mm,
Because when because obviously we know that her mom, her mom's marriage ended because her dad cheated on her mom, and she really
She,
resents her
yeah,
dad, her mom, because of it, because she resents her the death. She blames her mom for the death of her dad, because
her
obviously
dad.
when,
Mm,
yeah, so because when her parents split up, her mom didn't let the dad see her, and because of that, like, her dad ended up trying to come to her school to see her while, without the permission of her mom, and he got in a car accident and died. And she's so she
mm,
blames her mom for, like, for her dad dying, because she's like, well, if you had let him see me, he wouldn't have tried to see me without, behind your back, and he wouldn't have been at my school that day trying to see
mm,
me. He wouldn't have gotten a car accident. But then you can't do that, because in this life, what will happen. And I don't know,
exactly.
man. I feel bad for the mom sometimes, because the mom, at the end of the day, she's like,
Coupled,
you don't understand how it felt, that kind of betrayal. You don't understand,
mm,
like, you've never felt this kind of betrayal before. And then, Pion was really sitting on her high horse, saying, well, you're not really the perfect person either, like, you didn't want him to do this, or you always told him not to do this, or you act like this, you act like you can't do anything, like, you get angry if he doesn't do the littlest thing, like, you're not perfect, and you are very difficult to live with, so I can understand, like, why he would feel like he needed to step
why he
out. And
needed.
I was like, sis, you're saying all this and your man is
She
cheating on
went.
you. Like, she went
Mm,
ham on her
mm,
mom.
mm,
Like, she
mm.
really went in on
She
her
did.
mom. And it's just going to be so painful for her to reconcile, like, her feelings when she finds out. Like, I feel like that's another reason why they also left her story line till into the second season, because I feel like they probably wouldn't have had enough episodes to really go into detail. I really hope that they can go into detail, into more detail about, like, how it's all gonna, like, I really will hope they can execute it well, how it's all gonna play out, and how it's all gonna unravel, because I really, really hope that, like, they're able to really give us the intricacies of her marriage a lot more, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff in her home, like, that we still
Mm,
haven't really
mm.
seen. And, like, there's still a lot of things that is gonna happen. Like, I'm just so, like, my mind is, I have all sorts of free theories and everything. Like, I just hope that the second season does it justice, because the first one was,
I
like,
really
the
hope
first season
so.
was good.
It was
The
good.
first
And
season was
also
good.
the fact that what's going to even be more painful is the fact that her mom's got a terminal illness. So
Oh yes, let's not
now
forget that.
she finds out that she's in season two, she's going to find her husband's been cheating the whole time. She doesn't have
Hmm.
enough time to now spend with her mom because her mom's about to die.
Yeah, her
So,
mom yeah, her mom has a cancer, I think.
yeah, her mom's
And
got
she
cancer.
only has a few months left to live.
Exactly. And I'm
That's so
wondering what
sad.
her decision is going to be concerning the daughter. Is she going to do what her mom did and not let her daughter
Let
see
her daughter see
her
her,
dad?
but I don't think she'll be able to. I don't think she'll be able to, based on, if she was trying to do a custody battle, the man would win, I think,
You
because
think
he seems a
so?
bit more. I think so, because her mom has a terminal illness. So if they were in court, I'm just trying to play judge here. If
Yeah.
her mom has a terminal illness, and this would be what the opposing defense would use against her, to be like,
Mm.
well, she probably won't even have time to take care of her daughter, because she's too busy taking care of her sick mom who is about to pass away. And also, like, um her husband is more well off, like, he's from a very wealthy family. But then, to be fair, her mom seems to be quite wealthy as well. She's also from a wealthy family,
Yeah.
but her husband is well
Yeah.
off, and the stepmother is also there as well. She's alive and well. So I think, like, based on those things as well, I feel like he may probably win the custody battle, unless they also ask the daughter who she would want to spend, like, who she would want to live
To
with.
be with. I think
Yeah,
I think she's going
because
to end
he
up
also
staying with
seems
her
like kind of
mom
man that he
because
would he would take, like, he would hold, like, he's the kind of person that would want everything to be on his terms.
mm,
Like, he would want to
I don't
win.
know. I don't know. Like the thing I don't know about is that is he going to beg for forgiveness and is she going to stay? I don't think she's the type to stay.
I think she is the type to stay.
You think so?
I think to, and I think this is going to be the closing statement because she said something, and I really want people to really ponder over it. Let me even get the exact quote out because when I heard it, I said, "Sis, that's not sounding quite right to me." But
Mm.
anyway, what she said was, if you're unwilling, this was in the first episode, and it was when they were all talking, when they were having like coffee and stuff, and I was like,
Mm.
she said, if you're unwilling to endure everything in marriage, then don't bother getting married. Those were
Ooh.
her exact words. If you're unwilling to
Ooh.
endure everything in marriage, then don't
Everything in
bother
marriage,
getting
then
married.
don't bother
This is what
getting
I mean
married.
by she really was sitting on her own high horse. Like sis was not ready for the double whammy she's about to receive. So I just feel like, what do we think about that? Because I don't I don't think she really understood that there's levels to this. Like there's
Mm.
levels to what you can or cannot take or endure, because those were the word she used was endure. Like I think there's levels to it. Like there's things that you can endure in marriage, like an annoying stepmother, you can, an annoying mother-in-law, you can, to a certain degree you can endure it depending on how, just how annoying she is. You can you can endure
Mm.
it. Like there's a lot of things that some people endure in marriage, but cheating, infidelity, like a betrayal of trust. I'm using all sorts of synonyms here. Like I'm sisters of thesaurus today. Like a betrayal of trust, it's a lot. I can't lie. It's a lot.
And not
It's
only
really a
that,
lot.
not only like not even only that, the other thing is that would they then lead separate lives if she decides to stay? Because okay, you're saying she's gonna stay and she's gonna endure in
I'm
air
not saying she's
quotation.
gonna stay. I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked if she stayed,
She
based on the
stays.
fact that, based
That's the
on
quote.
what she
She's
said. But then I'm thinking, will they then show us what it looks like for you to like really learn, like for when life, when we're younger and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be this, and life slaps you in the face, and life tells you, darling, sorry, I hate to break it to you, I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but that's not what's going to happen. One of them ones where,
it reminds me
when
of
you're
this.
younger, you're like, I'm going to be a billionaire by 25. And life really told us, life can humble you. And it's one of them
Yeah,
ones. Like, I feel like it
it
could
does.
be that life does humble her. And she actually, is like, okay, yeah, I thought I could endure everything and anything that this marriage had to throw at me, but this I can't. Like, my heart can't take this, and I'm gonna have to
Mm,
step out. I'm gonna have to leave.
mm,
I'm gonna have to, dip. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what she will do, but I just have an inkling that she wanted kind of person that, just to prove her mother wrong, and just to not be that woman that gave up on her marriage. She gives me the kind of the woman that would stay in the marriage. Like she gives me that energy. I don't know.
mm.
Something in her gives me that energy.
Energy. And also reminds me today I saw a video on Twitter. This man
Hmm.
comes out and confesses to the whole world he's cheating with his
Oh
wife
my
right by his
gosh.
side.
Oh my gosh. I said she was holding on to him. I said,
She was
sister, is he paying you? Because I need to understand why you're sitting there. He acted like he is, oh God. Like, oh God. Like he sat
so
there holding her hand, and he was basically referring to himself in third
in
person,
third
saying
person
that he cheated and he was in illicit relationships with other
with
multiple
several
women.
people. Several people. And sis,
And
his
I'm like,
wife
sis.
was sat there and she was holding his hand and she was nodding. And I'm like, I cannot imagine what she's going through right now. And I feel like this is what's going to happen to
And the worst
Pyong.
part is everyone's clowning her. Although
That's
her
the
husband
thing.
is the one that cheated, everyone's clowning her. Everyone's like, but to be fair, I don't understand. Like, I'm really curious to understand what was her reasoning behind her sitting there with that hat, because he claims it wasn't a bonnet, it was a hat. Okay, looking like that, looking like she was already broken, sit there, hold
Ima-
his hand while
I
he told the world in third person that he cheated on her with
do you know what
multiple people?
I think
Is he paying her?
no. Listen, yeah, Tommy, listen. I think what I think is that he had already told her, right, before prior to the video, that he's been cheating. But because obviously this guy is an influencer, he's got a brand, and a lot of women and men follow him because he's one of those people that give advice about relationship. He's one of them relationship, gurus. If you
Gurus, yeah.
yeah, if you search him up, you'll find him. Okay? I'm not about to
Mm-hmm.
give him any more free publicity.
Nope.
But I feel like he had already told her beforehand because she's already trying to process what's happening and
No, I
what's
mean she knew. I'm sure she knew.
that's what I'm saying. She
Not just
knew,
today,
but
yesterday or
because
the day before. She's been knowing.
nah, I don't think it's been that long. I feel like
No, I
because
mean she's been knowing. I mean why I say this is because when I say she's been knowing is like before they decided to make the video. Of course she knew. Like she
that's
looked
what I'm
broke. Like I'm telling
saying.
you, she looked
That's
broken.
and I feel like because she's not
I
had
felt
enough
bad
time to
for
process
her.
what's going on. But he's thinking he needs to save his brand, and the
I'm
only way
sorry, Simi.
yeah, no,
Simi,
listen, wait,
there's
let
no
me
way.
land. Let me land.
Okay,
Let
sorry.
me land. Let me
Sorry.
land. For him to save his brand, for him it's business, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to see that the picture is painted to the world. He's this relationship guru that has a perfect
Mm-hmm.
that he's got his life together, wife, children, perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and you too can have his relationship. Hence why he's writing books, hence why he's got, millions of people on Instagram and YouTube
Mm-hmm.
following him, right? He
Mm-hmm.
For him, it's now a business calculation that if this thing gets out through a third party and not himself, he will lose a lot. He will lose his brand partnership. So he would have he would have I don't know, sat with his wife and said, "Look, we need to save this brand." Okay, whether she
Why
agreed,
we though? When you were busy doing the deed with other people, was I there?
no, exactly. I understand. No, I
So why
understand where
we?
I
Where did
understand
the
where
we
you're
come
coming
from?
from.
The we
So I don't know.
is only oh gosh, my head.
So the thing is that I don't understand how he convinced her to sit there.
That's my
And
point.
no, that's where I'm coming
Was she
from because
sick?
the only thing is that I know that what he's doing is to try and protect his brand. But
Of course, 100%.
how he convinced his wife, I don't know. And how she decided that that is what she wants to do and sits there, I don't know.
She was fully nodding, like, I said, sis, what are you doing? What like no, but honestly, what are you doing there? Like, what are you actually doing in this video? I want to understand. But to be fair, like the thing is, I didn't watch the whole video. I only watched the clip of it because I did see there was a clip where she was speaking. I didn't want to hear it because, sis, what are you doing there? While you
Hmm.
watch this man, because he's making a fool of you and him, but mostly a fool of you too, because he would have only been a fool of himself if you were not there. But he made a fool of
Yes.
you. You allowed him to make a fool of you when
Because he
you
was trying
sat
to
there
present
and held his
a
hand.
united front. He was trying to present a
No,
united
there's no
front.
united front. You cheated. There's you like I'm sorry, you're not gonna cheat on me, yeah, and then decide that you're gonna you now want a united front. When you were cheating, going out cheating. Well, were we united? Was I cheating too? That's the united front. Me too, I
Mm.
cheat, you cheat. We both cheat. Like I'm not understanding. Honestly, yeah, this whole cheating thing, is just honestly it's getting out of hand. And do you know what makes it so sad? Like I feel like our society these days, like actually is starting to normalize it.
Ye- Not even that. I feel like it's going towards a society of you just having normal multiple partners. There's no because some people are already saying that monogamy was not never meant to be.
It's
It's
okay, but the thing is, if you sir, I'm sorry,
matter,
but
matter.
if you if you believed in like polyamorous relationships, then do that. Yeah. And don't now go and bring it to the altar and say you want to come and be doing a monogamous relationship only for you to now come and be stepping out, and then your excuses were never meant to be in a
I feel
monogamous
like
relationship,
that's what
whatever the
a
word
lot
is.
of people are
And I'm
using
like, I don't
now.
you're not going to use that as a caveat and an excuse for you to like act a fool, because you didn't have to go to the altar and say your vows, like you didn't have to make a commitment to someone, like no one forced you. They didn't tie a rope around your neck and said you by force you must do it.
Mm.
No one pulled your hand, no one put handcuffs on you and said put you under duress and said you must marry her by force. No one did it. You on your own decided you were gonna marry her, and now you're coming out here to come and be telling me nonsense. I don't want to hear it. Like I actually don't. I'm so sick of it at this point. Like, can we all just agree to like not normalize this? Like, it's not normal for you to like act in deceit and lie to someone and lie barefaced to them and cheat on them and pretend that you love them, or pretend that you love them more and respect them enough to not cheat on them, and you're doing the most and you're going behind their backs and cheating on them. Like, can we just like all agree that it's not okay? It's not okay, and it's never going to be okay, in my opinion. It's
Mm.
just never going to be okay. But I think that's just my own 2 cents of this whole situation. But yeah, I think, to be honest, I think
We've covered
we've covered
everything.
every
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
everything that has to do with
everything.
season 1 of Love Featuring Love and Marriage and Divorce. If you haven't watched it, lol, please go and watch it. I'm
Go
sure we've
watch
spoiled
it.
it all for you, but you should still watch it because it's actually a good watch. I would recommend it for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really
because
teaches you on how different dynamics
exactly, because you could
work
be the
in
perfect
marriage.
woman and you can still get cheated on.
Honestly, men will cheat regardless. Do you, baby
Anybody,
girl?
not everybody,
I
whether
know
they're
women cheat. Before some people start saying no, all men or women cheat too. We know, but it was the men cheating in this show, so that's what we're talking about.
exactly. So, just to say that, it wasn't. You could be, you could be all, you could be 100, you could be everything on his list, and he's still gonna do what he wanna do.
He wants to do, because ultimately human beings will always do what they want to do. There's nothing in this life that's gonna stop them. Human
Exactly,
beings will do
human
whatever
beings.
the heck they want to do. That's just it. You can just try and try your best to be you and do what you can to be the best person and the best version of yourself.
Low key, eh?
Which brings me back to that whole feminine classes for to attract high quality men. All these attract the high quality men that will still cheat on you. Like, I'm so over it, man. I'm so over it. Ugh.
My own thing is, like, it just makes me think, do I even, like, is marriage really, like, is
If I
this
should say it, my mom may just collapse. She may collapse if I say, is marriage even really worth it? Like,
like,
I actually have so much peace right now. Like, is it really worth it? Like, I don't need the headache. It's actually nice to like be headache free. I love it. I love it here. But my mom might collapse if I say it in front of her.
it's because I don't know, is it a social construct that, because I know some people choose not to, but some people choose to. And I'm just
Mm.
thinking, is it really because with all the stories we're hearing, is it that no one can keep it in their pants anymore?
Ugh, I don't know, mate. At this point, I don't know.
So that's the question. So if you have any answers, comments, please do let us know, because it is a juicy topic. I won't lie. It's a very, very
Yeah.
juicy topic.
And it's
But
one that always like spans through the ages. It doesn't. I don't think this topic will ever get tired. There's
no,
some there are some topics that become stale or become tired, but this topic I don't think will ever be get tired, because they always come up with new ways to cheat. There's always a new way to cheat, honestly.
new way.
But yeah, I
Well,
think that's it for and that's it, everybody. I
that's
think
all,
that's it
folks.
for yeah, that's it for today's episode. Please, feel free to comment on our YouTube. Give us a review if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify as well. Yeah, and just like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. It all helps. Every little helps, and we want to see who's listening. We want to know you better. We want to be able to reply to you and have conversations. So if you're also tweeting about anything to do with the podcast, please use our hashtag. Please use our hashtag LeastMostPod. It just we want to find who you are. Like, we want to know who you are and get to know you guys just as much as you're getting to know us, episode by episode. I'm sure you already know quite a bit about me, just from the little tidbits I give you from the episode. So yeah, I think that's everything.
Yes, that's everything. So, bye everyone.
Bye, signing
Bye.
out.